Guys, welcome back. We are in to train hamstrings today, which I am super excited for. So I was chilling out before the session, have my coffee here, which I actually don't normally drink pre-workout. I do when it comes to a diet and phase, but in off-season, I don't necessarily need it, and it makes me feel a bit sick. So the odd time, I will have a coffee. Good session today, RDLs on the cards. So I have a coffee, fill out the logbook, write down kind of what numbers I want to hit as well, and then we get cracking. But today's session will be adductor, RDL, line hamstring curl, leg press, lunges, and seated hamstring curl. So I'm going to take you through. I'm going to kind of explain a couple of bits between each exercise as well, and mainly just so you can kind of see us get after it and how we approach our sessions and our training, as you probably already know. But hamstrings on the cards, I'm going to get cracking on this and we'll go from there. Okay, so I fucking hate doing planks, side planks in particular, but they really have helped. Like I touched on my Instagram last week in my side shots, so like quarter turns, etc. They've really helped kind of help me control my midsection and my obliques a lot more as well, so I can get into them side shots a lot easier. Now I can do these at any time, but I feel doing them before the session, because we hate them, just really sets us up. It allows us to get the hard shit done first. And also, I feel like it allows my bracing to be a lot better during my session and bigger movements as well. There's no kind of science behind that, just kind of what feels good for me and helps set me up before a session going into bigger movements. Okay, so adductor is our first exercise, and usually earlier on in the session we will take more warm-up sets in the first few movements, and then as the session goes on, we may not need as many warm-up sets per exercise. So in this we may take 3, maybe 4, depending on how we feel, and then we'll go into a working set. The same at RDL as well. We'll really take our time on that because it's the big movements. But as the session goes on, we're already really fired up from a CNS standpoint, from a muscularity standpoint, our hamstrings, adductors, everything. So as you'll see, as the session goes on, we may take like line hamstring curl, maybe 1, maybe 2 warm-ups, and then we're going to be ready to go. So start of the session, plenty of warm-ups as we start off, and as the session goes on, the number of warm-ups we need is substantially less. 11. 12, easy. Come on. So we're in. Yep. Yep. Thank you. 10. Lovely. So you'll see Cube actually worked before me on that. He actually took fewer rest sets, he actually took fewer warm-up sets than me in that. And that's simply because I needed more. So if you're training with someone, don't just rush your sets or your session just because they may be ready for something. I pulled my adductor a bit last year, so it's still a bit sensitive here and there. I have to warm it up a little bit more. So I knew that if I jumped in there and worked after as many warm-up sets as him, it would have probably aggravated a little bit. So I took one more warm-up and then I'll work next. Which again, just being smart. Take things at your own pace and don't just rush for what your training partner is doing. As he always says, be selfish with your time. You know, each person will need different things, different amount of warm-ups, etc. Yeah, my bad, thank you. Yeah. 1. Okay, come on. Yep. Thank you. Ooh. RDLs. A couple of things I like to look at when I go into a set. Number 1, lifting straps are going to be vital. Number 2, I like to keep my chin tucked at all times rather than looking directly ahead of me. When I am thinking about coming down, I'm not thinking about coming down and coming back up. I am thinking about driving the hips back and driving the hips forwards. And then when I'm in the set, trying to keep myself as tight as possible. So you will see, once I'm in that set, all I'm focusing on is driving them hips back, driving the hips forward, keep my chin tucked, and keeping everything as tight as possible. No distractions around me, stay focused on the set. And one last thing I like to think of during an RDL is I try and keep my knees in the same position. I don't like them traveling forward or traveling backwards. Usually when my knees start to travel forwards, it means that I'm going down into like a kind of conventional deadlifts, and the boys is coming off my hamstrings and glutes and more so onto my quads. So the last thing there is trying to keep my knees from traveling and keep them in that fixed position as my hips drive back and drive forward. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Good. Nice. Good. Good. Come on. Good. Good. Okay, come on. Good. Again. Take it. Yep. Yep. Okay. So with the RDLs today, what we decided to do, instead of walking them out like we have been doing the past few weeks, we decided to pull the first rep off a block, and then obviously Kuba and Meg pull the blocks away so we can go down into kind of proper range of motion. And the reason for that is the walkout takes a lot of energy, like away from that set. So by the time we pick the bar up, walk ourselves out, get ourselves set, and then go, we'd rather just pick it from the bottom and actually start our set like that. So we tried it today, see how it felt. And because I didn't have to adjust my feet and take a step back, I actually felt like I was a lot more set, a lot more locked in, and I had a lot more force through that set. So it felt really good. So for me, I'll definitely keep that setup going from next week. So one thing I actually didn't mention at the start is that we're actually running devolume at the moment. So a few devolume sessions, basically, as you mostly will know, we've reduced the volume of our sessions we actually done 4 sessions reduced volume this time, and then we're probably going to go back to the full volume in 2 days time for push. But basically in today's session, this is why you're not seeing me kind of take them 50-50 reps at the end and really push. Like all out of failure. Like if it's a 50-50 rep where I'm like, right, I could potentially get this or I may not, I'll just leave it. You know, the goal here is to kind of refresh, remove fatigue, and kind of get ourselves set up for the next few weeks of training. So yes, we're taking things there, but just not them extra reps all the way to failure as well. So you will see that volume was pulled back a little bit. So just on 2 sets of adductor, which is, it's usually 2, 1 set of RDL, which is usually 2 sets, 2 sets of hamstring curl, which is usually 3 sets, and then we're going to do 1 leg press set, which is usually 2 sets as well. So a reduction in volume, but again, it doesn't really mean that intensity drops off. It's just that volume is slightly reduced and we don't take them, you know, really hard 50-50 reps at the end that we may potentially not get. Nice. Lovely. So with deloads at the moment, they're falling in and around kind of every 7-8 weeks. That's when we start to really kind of crash and burn. We can't expect to continually progress without having to pull back at some stage. A lot of people ask how often you need a deload. It really depends on the person, what they're able for, when they start to get really smashed, when they start to feel it. A lot of people, and most people that actually ask when they need a deload, they don't even necessarily need them, okay? If you're not training hard enough, training in a proximity of failure, and actually pushing to that place where fatigue actually builds up, which a lot of people don't, we don't need deloads. I'd say when you start to feel a little bit tired, a little bit sore, maybe just take an extra rest day here or there. But when you feel like you train to that point and fatigue really builds up, like I said, then deloads are going to be important to help reduce that fatigue and set you up for another run of progression. Try it. Yeah? Okay, make it easy. Come on. Come on. Proper control. Aggressive. Oh yeah. Come on. Own it. Yeah. Yeah. Try it. Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Here we go. Get easy. Make this one easy. Yeah. 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 Yep. Oh yes. Yep. Yep. In. Good. Ooh. It's the worst set of the whole session. Fucking destroys me every time. And again, when I'm in the set, when you're watching it, it doesn't look like it. But like there's no giving this, like every single inch of this, the eccentric, the pause, driving up is the fucking hardest part as well. So every inch of this, like it's on at all times. So it always leaves me destroyed after this set. One set here, I know it's a deload today, but one set on this is enough to destroy me. 2 sets kills me off completely, so yeah, let's do it. Okay, 3, 2, yes. Let's go. Okay, come on. Excellent. Good. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good. Come on. Yes. Come on. Drive. Good. Come on. Again. Take it all the way, come on. Yeah. Again. Excellent, excellent. Take one more then. It's that, take it, come on. Let's go. It's that, take it. And try. Excellent. Fucking hell. You'll see, I think that was just shy of failure. I think one more rep would have been a 50-50 rep where I think Cool would have to help me up at the end of it. So again today, it's still taking it there, it's still intense, but just that last rep which takes us over the edge, we're just not taking it. Okay, so we have walking lunges now. At this stage in the session, I really don't want to be doing this. And not because I don't enjoy them, but because I know how difficult they were last week. I know what I got last week in terms of weight and reps, etc. as well. When you have that kind of progressive mindset in terms of like, right, I have to progress here, whether it be execution, whether it be reps, whether it be weight, I need to progress. So that is scary in itself. So basically what we can take from that is we're gonna have to do shit that we don't want to do when we are looking to progress. Progression in whatever sense of the word, no matter what kind of thing you're doing. If you want to progress, there's gonna be shit that, it's gonna be difficult, you don't want to do it, but you know it must be done in order to take that next step forward. So this is definitely one of them movements where I know what I have to do, I know how difficult it was, but it has to get done anyway. Just a few more, come on. Come on, just one more. There we go. One set of calves here, that's us pretty much wrapped up. So a very, very small session, but needed and productive as well, very productive. I still took kind of progressions on the set that I do, and we didn't kind of push to 100% failure either really as well. So very productive session, but just enough to get the job done, stimulate the muscle and not kill ourselves, so that hopefully in a few days time we're ready to really kind of step that volume forward again. So that is today's session wrapped up. Hamstring session, plain and simple. We are actually 8 weeks away from starting prep. So 8 weeks time, prep will begin and we'll start that. Our first show will be the 2nd of September, like I touched on before. So I'm excited. Like I said, prep series will begin for today. That is really it. I'm gonna get cracking on post-workout meal in a few minutes, which is 175 grams of Rice Krispies, 25 grams of honey, 200 grams of berries and 60 grams of whey. So I'll wait a couple of minutes and then I will have that. But for now, that is it. Hamstring's done. I hope you took a couple of bits from this as well, a couple of cues here and there that hopefully you benefit from. If you did benefit from it or you enjoyed it, like, subscribe and share as well. It'd be really helpful. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thank you.